The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 9 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships from Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Hyundai, Ford, Kia, and Nissan, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Greece, Penfield, Fairport, and Canandaigua. Online at visionauto.com. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us at the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Every week at this time, we take a comprehensive look at sports in Monroe County in Section 5, and we begin with our honor roll of high school teams. At number 3, we have an unusual one here. A high school football game between Wilson and Leadership Academy produced 3 safeties. Never heard of that happening around here. Wilson won the season opener by a score of 30-2. At number 2, the Pittsford-Sutherland girls volleyball team, which won a battle of defending Section 5 champs, the Knights swept Mercy. And at number 1, the boys soccer team at Churchville-Chili. In a rematch of last year's Class AA Section 5 final won by Fairport, the Saints beat the Raiders this time 2-0. Lucas Blazik and Chris Mallard got the goals. Churchville, a Class A school this year, is 3-0. Which brings us to Gates-Chili High School, where soccer coach Bill Hueber, after a rather traumatic summer, is back in business. After 25 years coaching soccer in the Greece School District, the last 12 as the varsity boys coach at Athena, Bill Hueber found himself out of work this summer, and he couldn't find out officially why. It wasn't performance-based. The Trojans had 10 winning seasons under Coach Hueber.
My biggest fear is that I wasn't going to have a job this fall, so it was about the worst of it. It's just not knowing where I was going to be in the fall. So, because all I wanted to do was coach. That's all I want to do.
Hueber was allegedly let go in Greece by school board members with a personal axe to grind. Every coach deals with the political realities of the position. It is the lowest common denominator of sports.
The school board voted me out twice, and that was their prerogative, and they had every right to do that. So this job had opened up, and I jumped on the opportunity to apply here, and kind of worked out in the long run. Good for me, to be honest with you.
Hueber was hired to fill a vacancy with the Gates-Chili girls varsity team. From among 18 qualified outside candidates for the position, 8 of whom were interviewed. Under the circumstances, it would have been easy not to hire Hueber and avoid the controversy.
I will say that we did our due diligence as far as looking into it and speaking to Greece and just making sure things were on the up and up. But again, we wanted to bring him in, and if we did, we wanted to make sure that he was a viable candidate. So we did our due diligence.
And I know it wasn't your intention, but by hiring him and doing it so quickly, you make Greece look awfully bad in firing him.
Well, that wasn't our intention at all. Again, our intention was to bring in the best person for our girls, and I feel we did that.
The Spartan girls team is coming off a 1-win season. Hueber was hired barely a week before the start of practice. He didn't know any of his athletes coming in. But that wasn't necessarily a bad thing.
I think that it's just like a different vibe from him because we didn't come in, we automatically having a spot on the team. So we all had to work for our position. And I thought that gave us more of a competitive edge, even towards each other. So we work harder and push each other more, and then it's helping us in the games.
By quickly securing the job in Gates, Hueber is vindicated and has every right to take shots at his previous employers in Greece. But he doesn't.
What happened back there, that's history now, so I'm just looking forward. I'm not looking past anything in the past is history. I'm looking forward, so I think I can stand on my record and my integrity, and I'm really happy to be here. I can't thank Gates-Chili enough for giving me this opportunity, and I'm going to make the best of it.
Tragedy turns into a tradition at Pittsford Mendon High School when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us at the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Let's check in now with our honor roll of high school athletes, our top three for the week. And at number 3, it's Grace Billow, the Webster Thomas field hockey team. Scored both goals for the Titans in their season-opening win over Webster Schrader. At number 2, from a wild girls soccer game, Victor's Casey Messier scored 2 goals, both in overtime. And at number 1, we'll be hearing a lot from the Pittsford swimming tandem of Lindsay Stone and Katie Smith, who are still there and combined to set 4 pool records at the Hilton Invitational. Which brings us to Pittsford Mendon High School, where a victim of the 9/11 attacks is remembered in a living memorial.
Ryan, for you, I just want you to know, and you guys, what it stands for in the sense of not just 9/11, what it was and what happened that day in history and how bad it was. I think you guys are probably 4 years old, 3 years old, pretty young, where you wouldn't remember it.
This isn't your everyday inspirational sports speech or history lesson. As Mark Hurley addresses his Pittsford Mendon soccer players, all present know that the 9/11 attacks on the United States 13 years ago are a very personal matter here.
At West Ronnequoit last night, during the national anthem, when that's going on, I'm staring at that flag and I'm really thinking about what happened, because it's just my view of America changed at that point, and just my sense of pride of being an American and being someone that's in a society that you can have the things that you have and do the things that you do and not take it for granted or as a luxury.
Todd Pelino was a 1985 graduate of Pittsford Mendon. He was the captain of the Section 5 champion. He was among the nearly 3,000 people killed in the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center. There's a memorial in Todd's honor at the school. The scoreboard bears his name. But more than that, there's Ryan Aspenleiter, number 9.
And it was really just an unbelievable honor, to represent more than myself, to represent Todd. From what I hear, he's just an unbelievable person, a great soccer player, a great friend, and he demonstrated all the values of a leader. And I hope I can live up to that this year.
The number 9 is a living memorial to Pelino. It was his number. Every year it is handed out to a player deemed the ideal teammate at Mendon by a vote of the players and coaches. The Pelino family is annually informed of the result. Aspenleiter wears it this year. It is the soccer team's highest honor.
Yeah, pretty much everybody wants a number. It's something to keep his legacy going, and it means a lot to everybody.
It's amazing that it's always unanimous. Everyone knows. I rarely, I don't think ever have had it where it's split between 2 guys or it's even close. It's usually 99 to 100%. They pick a guy and it's chosen, and it's not always your best guy. This year it is, and a lot of times it is, but it's the guy that represents the ideal teammate that you want to be a part of, the guy that you trust when the game gets tough, the going gets tough. He's the guy that's going to bail you out.
Aspenleiter is a senior, a 3-year starter, the MVP at the state tournament as the Vikings earned a share of the championship last year. Amazingly, the historical context of the 9/11 attacks are largely lost on high school kids these days. Remembering Pelino through Aspenleiter and the others who wore the number 9 since 2001 helps keep it current.
They were so young. I mean, I was talking to Ryan about it. He was 4, and he vaguely remembered it. So I don't remember many things when I was 4 years old, so it's something to keep fresh in their minds. That I remember the day specifically. I think the way any big thing in America happens, my parents remembered the Kennedy assassination. You remember big things in U.S. history, and for these guys being so young, they don't recall it so much. So we talk about it and what it was and what a scary moment it was in U.S. and why we got to value life and why we got to take care of ourselves and your family and those you love and take care of your country.
We'll get you in as soon as we can. Remember, we're playing this first line. The field's a little wet, so be careful, okay? Other than that, we should be good. Coach, we got any ball boys?
M-E-N-T-O-N, 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 1, 2, 3, Vikings! Ah! Let's go!
The top high school football plays of the week and the season opener at Rush-Henrietta when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. It's time now for a look at the Week 1 top plays in high school football presented by Varsity Media. Here are the top 5 high school football plays from Week 1. We begin on the new turf just installed at East High School. East hosting Edison. East with the ball on the pass, and the interception is made by Edison's Willie Johnson. Gets 72 yards on the return before he's brought down. Nice defensive play by the visitors, but East is a winner in this game, 20-14. At number 4, we're out in Canandaigua. Brockport at Canandaigua, and Josh Michaels of Brockport to Carlton Ekior. 76 yards and a touchdown. Ekior is a name you're going to hear a lot this year. Brockport's a winner, 22-15. The number 3 play, Pittsford is at Webster Schrader. Going the other way, play looks very similar. This is Jack Wallman to Zuriel Hendricks. 83 yards for the visitors, who win by a score finally of 42-35. Number 2 is at HFL, Eastridge at HFL. Javon Hampton to Javon Presley for the Eastridge Lancers. He doesn't wind up with it, though. Watch the tip drill. Perfect form. Sharif Jones gets it. The play winds up good for 38 yards and a 40-24 win for Eastridge. And at number 1, here's how you open up your season. Athena taking the kickoff from Spencerport, and Signory Capend is 87 yards off and running for a touchdown. Again, that's how you start your season. Athena with a 40-35 win. Get out and catch a high school game this week. Here is the pick of the litter. Boys soccer on Tuesday. McQuaid plays host to one of the better Monroe County programs when the Knights battle Brighton under the lights at 7:30. Traditionally, the top 2 girls golf programs play at the Country Club of Mendon on Thursday. It's Pittsford and Mercy, first shots at 3:30. To the weekend for the Victor Blue Devils Cross Country Invitational. Just about everyone is going to this one. Varsity races in 3 classes begin at 9 a.m. And the best tradition-laden football game of the week is Saturday. Victor is at Canandaigua. Kickoff is at 2. Coming up, Fairport seeks a signature victory in Rush-Henrietta when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back to the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Time now for our all-sports high school game of the week. It is a football game, the season opener for Fairport and Rush-Henrietta. Fairport was once the dominant football power among large schools in Section 5. The Red Raiders won 7 titles in a 10-year span, the last of those coming in 1998. That was 16 years ago.
We have to win a marquee game. That's what we need to do. We had Rush on the ropes last year in the playoffs and let them, they beat us in overtime. And it's just that kind of a game that now your kids believe in completely what you're doing. So, that's what we need. But we're getting there. Our kids, I really like our kids. They've been working hard and they're doing the right things.
These days, Rush-Henrietta is what Fairport was, the dominant power in Monroe County. The Royal Comets made it to the sectional finals last year in what was supposed to be a rebuilding season. They absorbed a 50-6 beating at the hands of Aquinas in the final.
Quite frankly, I don't know that anyone thought we would be in that game, and to get to that game, and we competed and we tried our best, and I think it made our guys understand that's where the bar's set and we need to get there.
Fairport defending the Comets' second possession of the contest, a 1-play drive. A pass from junior Jared Gerbino to Farden Allen on a crossing pattern for 62 yards. Allen, a 5'11 senior, and his quarterback Gerbino are destined to be among the section's most dynamic players this year.
Me and Jared have been working ever since last year, and then did a little things off the field, just running routes on our free time just to get ready for the season.
Fairport features a sophomore quarterback, Keyshawn Howard, who is a 5'10", 160 lefty with a little zip on the ball. But he is just a sophomore, and in trying to turn something into a little something more on a 3rd and 12 scamper, coughed up the ball on a hit by John Fessett. A Comet recovery at the Fairport 40. Zerbino to Allen for 9 yards to the 27. Zerbino to Allen for 10 more to the Fairport 14. Then it was Zerbino taking care of the rest on his own. It was 12-0 Rush-Henrietta after a quarter of play. In the second, Fairport's Howard ran for 17 yards to his own 39. But on the very next play, the game's defensive player of the game, Chris Poorman, got into the Raider backfield as quickly as the handoff was made, forced a second fumble, and RH was in business again at the Fairport 36.
You got to the ball before the running back got it.
Well, I just tried to go into the gap, and what happened was there was just an open hole, and I got there as fast as I could.
The drive was kept alive on a 4th and 2 call, with Zerbino finding Allen yet again for a gain of 5. Points were put on the board from 6 yards out by Gavin McDonald, the first of his 2 touchdowns. It was 20-0. On its next possession, Fairport finally got a break when Rush lost track of a Raiders punt. An off-the-top-of-the-head fumble was recovered by Fairport at the Comet 40. Given life, Howard passed 20 yards over the middle to senior Michael Gambetto to the 20-yard line. Facing 4th and 7, Howard found Jacob Milburn for 9. Howard, a starter with a JV team a year ago, found the end zone himself for his first varsity touchdown.
Actually, I didn't find out that I was going to start until last night, but it was a senior.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I've been battling with the senior, a very great quarterback, Byron Waddell, and I guess they just thought the best decision would be starting me as a sophomore. And probably made that decision.
Fairport left just 1:21 on the clock. That was enough time for the quick striking Comets. Zerbino on 3rd and 10 to Jashawn Smith. That's a gain of 23. Rush-Henrietta drove 60 yards in a minute, with McDonald scoring with just 10.2 seconds left on the clock to put RH back up comfortably, 27-7.
How important was it after Fairport had gone in to score that late touchdown in the first half that you guys came right back and answered?
It was very important actually because we got the juice right after that. We got right back up and we got in the half and we were leading.
Offensive line, keep doing what you're doing. Communicate. I love what you guys doing out there, boys. Be positive and be physical. That's all. That's all we got to do in this game. Be physical, positive, and we're perfectly fine. 2 more quarters.
We got to play against everybody here except for our fans. We got to play against everybody here, each and every rep. We got to do everything perfect, and we can. We got to go out there and do what we got to do.
We start with the ball at half, boys. Let's pound it right at them, straight down the field. We got this.
Defense dominated in the second half. Poorman leading the way with a 6-yard sack of Howard. Neither offense put any points on the board, but there was a touchdown scored. In the fourth quarter, Rush-Henrietta's Keanu Hedron forced the 3rd of 4 Fairport turnovers, and junior Trenton Eubanks wound up with his first and quite likely only career touchdown.
It felt great. I mean, our defense overall played outstanding. I felt that that play wasn't done by me, it was done by my teammates. So I got to thank them for 99% of it.
So what's it like? I mean, you didn't think, what's it like being in the end zone?
I mean, I've never experienced something like that. So, you know, every time I get an opportunity like that, you got to take charge and make the most of it.
Impressive on both sides of the ball, Rush-Henrietta began the football season with a convincing 34-7 win. Fairport with hope.
And I think this game showed that everybody on our team definitely cares, and nobody quit on each other, so that's really good to see.
Tell me about your overall feelings about how things went here today.
I think our defense played outstanding today. Our offense played pretty good, but we can do a lot of things better, and I'm looking forward to that.
If you want to secure a copy of this program or any of the previous episodes of the Vision Automotive Group's High School Sports Beat, you can get them at ClassyWolf.com. We'd like to thank our sponsorship, the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible. So do you. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.